Hey friends, thank you so much for joining me today on my channel. Today I am sharing a layout I've created for Papers and Beyond and their February kit, which is called Chasing Rainbows. And so this collection features mainly papers from the Vicki Boutin Kaleidoscope collection, as well as some pieces from Heidi Swapp and her new Color Fresh collection. So this background piece of paper that I'm using, it is from Heidi Swapp, and it's about the only thing I used from Heidi Swapp. I just really liked the colors. And so where I'm going to do my embellishment clustering and adding of my photos, my photo, I should say, I'm using some white gesso, and I'm just kind of making the center portion of the background paper lighter, just because I know that that background paper is super colorful and super busy. Plus, if I add, my title and my embellishments and whatnot, everything will totally get lost. And I just want I want the elements to differentiate from the background paper. So I'm going through the papers that come in the collection, and I have the main kit, the main scrapbook kit. I also have the paper add-on as well as the embellishment add-on. On my channel I have an unboxing video for this kit. Lost my words just there. And so if you're interested to know what is inside the kit this month for February, you could head over to my other videos and just click there. And so this photo I'm using is from the summer, and it's of my youngest little, and this was just the pool in the backyard, and they were having a whole bunch of fun splashing around, and Mama snapped a picture, and she was smiling. And so I really loved the way the bright blue of the pool and the slide contrasted against the paper in that background paper. So that's the photo that I decided to use. Here I'm just matting it with some papers from the collection. I love this navy as well, and I contemplated using it. Like you see there, I'm cutting it face up. But I don't end up using it. I end up going with the reverse side of it. I felt that was just like a better fit. So now my gesso is pretty much dry, and I know that I want to layer this paper on top of another solid piece of cardstock that comes in the collection, and I'm going to go with that pink that you see right there in the on the screen. It's just a basil piece of cardstock. And I'm just going to gut the middle so I can use it for other things when I'm scrapbooking and using this kit. And I'm just going to glue the gessoed piece of cardstock onto that hot pink piece of paper. So that also, even though I gutted the center, gives a lot more stability to my background paper because it was a bit warped because of the gesso. And so, yeah. Now I'm going to take some fun foam. This is just cheapy foam I got from Michael's. And I believe I even used a 40 or 50% off coupon. So I believe it was like 12 or 13 bucks here in Canada, and then minus the discount, so I paid like 7 or 8 bucks including the taxes, something along those lines. But I always add the foam. I do this almost 100% of the time. It's 99.9% of the time I add some fun foam to the back. I like the dimension that it gives. Here I'm going through the thickers from the Kaleidoscope collection. I also decide that I'm going to use this Say Cheese for my title because my girl is totally giving me a cheesy like smile. So I thought that'd be a good title, and as well it's the perfect shade of pink to go with everything else. This is the ephemera. And so I also want to point out that if I hadn't have gessoed that piece of cardstock paper, my title would not have stood out the way it is right now on the white. I'm going to add that cloud there, but you can see that it still stands out in comparison to the pink on the colorful piece of background paper. So here I'm just taking some wet glue, and I know that these stickers are sticky, but I prefer to add a bit of extra extra glue, just because I've gessoed, and those of you who have watched me for a long time know my like heartbreaking story of my ephemera falling to the bottom of page protector once it was in the album. So I just go over and beyond and add what is more than I need to as far as glue goes. I am just smitten by these yellow flowers that are in this Vicky Bouton collection. There's a larger one and a smaller one, and I decided to use the smaller one. It was just perfect. Here I'm going through the ephemera. Again, I'm just going to start to build my cluster. So at this point, I have my title down, but I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of the layouts. Usually I have an idea going in, like I'm working from like my brain and an idea that I have, or an overall like something that I'd like to see myself do. But in this case I didn't, and I really just I really just let the pieces of this kit dictate what I was going to do. So on this thicker sheet, there is a whole bunch of chipboard like titles and like banners and whatnot, and so I decided that I was going to incorporate a lot more of the black because I like that look. I'm all about that life. And so I needed to add more black pieces in and around my layout, just to add a bit more substance to the page. I'm adding more butterflies. I had a few more in and around the page, you'll see in a bit, but I decided to go with these banners and create a little cluster there. Now I definitely added more glue to these like banner pieces, because first of all, they're stickers. Second of all, I have trust issues. And third of all, I had gessoed that piece of paper. So I knew that it would, even though it was holding when I first put it on, I knew that it would only be a matter of time before they started curling up. It's just the nature of the beast. And so I'm going to take more of the black letters. This is from the sticker sheet. No, it's from the sticker book. And so there's like some banner pieces. There are some like washi looking pieces. There are those banners that you saw. There's little words. There's like phrases and whatnot. There's also some tags. And so I'm using pieces from there. I'm also going to peel up this number 2. I'll do it in a minute. Jumping ahead of myself. Just taking some yellow thread here. This is just like a butter colored, yellow thread. And I'm loving yellow right now. I've always loved yellow, but right now I'm on like this yellow kick, so those fit perfectly. So here I am picking out the number 2. The reason why I added the number 2 is because my girl is 2 in this photo. She still is 2. You see the labels there? It's a really cool sticker pack. Now I'm going to start adding more of the black, and I took pieces from everywhere. I took pieces from the sticker book. I took pieces from that thicker package, from everywhere, and I just used the black with the white writing on it. Now here, to me, that bottom right hand corner was looking a little, I don't know, bare. So I decided that I was going to add a tiny little focal and like cluster down there, just to balance it all out. And from the thicker collection, I'm going to take a little bird and stick it there. I'll do that in a minute. Because apparently I'm jumping around. I don't know if anybody else does that, but I jump around all the time. I never finish like one cluster and then move on to the next. I'm always jumping around. See, I added that bird. And then on the thicker sheet as well, there's these holographic stars. They are so incredible. I love them. I wish I just had like an entire like package of just those stars. I would seriously glue them everywhere. And so I used the majority of these from the package. So I have like a couple left. There's also a couple hearts as well on that thicker sheet. So they're super cute. There's another butterfly. So I think now for the most part I'm done. I wanted to add, you know, like a white piece of sticker, but I don't end up doing that. I think I'm going to take thread again. Yep, there I am. And I'm going to make just another little small cluster and stick it where it says smile for the camera, just in the corner there. I felt like it needed something else, just a bit of balance. And another word for good measure. And I'm adding another cloud here because I felt like it needed, you know, the third piece there. And I'm taking some Ranger brushed silver, I think it is, and adding some splatters. Now it dries a lot lighter than it actually looks on screen. But that's my layout, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I will leave all the links to Papers and Beyond, the shop, excuse me, in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.